Welcome to my $100,000 stock experiment, year 2, week 28, ending October 25th, 2019. This isn't an endorsement to purchase any stocks that I bought, nor an endorsement to purchase stocks in general. I'm on a mission to become a great growth stock investor. Watch me on my journey, learn from my mistakes, and celebrate my successes. According to the IBD at investors.com, the market is in a confirmed uptrend. I also like to look at the S&P 500, the Russell 2000, and the VIX to sort of validate the market conditions for me. I wanted to look at a longer chart for the Russell 2000 index. This is a 2-year chart. In order for my portfolio to be making progress, I need this index to be going up. The 50-day simple moving average should be in an uptrend. You can see it wasn't in an uptrend at the beginning of 2018 at 1, 2, and 3. And then January to April 2019, we had a nice uptrend at number 4. Then it went sideways for a while, all the way over to number 5. And at number 5, I think this index is making a move in the right direction, and that 50-day simple moving average is starting to increase. This index did close the week at 1558. I want to see it above 1600. This is a 2-year chart for the S&P 500, and you can see the 50-day simple moving average here in red. Also, we want to see that increasing. It did not go as flat as the Russell at the last few months, but I am starting to see a nice increase now, and hopefully that becomes a long-term trend. It did close the week at 3022. And the volatility index, I'm showing a 2-year chart for this also. I like to see it between 16 and 12. If it can get under 12, that's even better, like it was all the way over on the left-hand side back in 2017, 2018. It did have some periods below 12. The VIX closed the week at $12.65. I'm thrilled to announce that I did not need to sell any stocks this week. I did not get stopped out, and I was able to purchase 3 new stocks plus a buy 3 in stock CZZ. Now I'm going to review my current holdings. This is the current holding bar chart that tracks my $10,000 purchase in each stock. It's just tracking my B1s, and it allows me to compare these stocks side by side. The best performer is right in the middle, CZZ. That stock is in the brown. It started off up, and it just each week it's going up more and more. Excellent. EDU also had a big pop this week, you can see in the gray, as did Teradyne, which was down last week over in the pink, and then this week it's up. CDW over on the left-hand side is in the blue. That stock is really just going sideways, and I've held it for 6 weeks, so it has earnings coming up, and I'm hoping to see some movement in that stock. Now that I have more than a couple of stocks, I like to rank their charts on the order of the weakest to strongest. This isn't the price performance shown on this chart, but the individual stock charts themselves. PennyMac Financials. This is a new stock for me. I got the stock idea from the new high list, stocks making a new high. It is the weakest stock in my portfolio. I say that because it did close below the 8-day simple moving average, which is that pink diagonal line. I've held this stock for 5 days, and it's down just over 3%. It does have earnings coming up on Thursday, October 31st, after the market closes. I did leave my floor at the 8%. CDW Corporation. This stock has really just been going sideways since I purchased it. I've had it 5.5 weeks, and it's up 2%. It is above its 8-day and 13-day simple moving averages. I had raised the floor a few weeks ago up to the 50-day simple moving average, so I'm not going to raise it again. It does have earnings later this week on October 31st before the market opens. Teradyne. I've held this stock just over 2 weeks, and it's up almost 4%. It did have earnings earlier this week, and I wanted to show you the 3-month chart because I want to give you a little close-up on what happened on earnings day. Teradyne had earnings after the close on 10/22, so the first day of trading after the earnings call was on Wednesday, and that's right above that E. You can see how wide that price swing was that day. $5.40, a 9% swing, and then it closed near the bottom of the range, which is not a good sign. And then the next 2 days it continued back up. So earnings were good. I'm not sure why it closed at the bottom of its range, but I still am holding this stock, and I have left my floor at my 8%. Copart, I've held this stock for 1 week and it's up 0.5%. I got this stock idea from the IBD 50. It was number 3 on that list. Even though I'm not making money on this stock, I do still think it's a strong stock, and it is above its 8-day and 13-day simple moving average. It is having up and down days in there, so hopefully we'll get in a trend where it has several up days in a row. Lululemon, I've held this stock for just about 2 weeks and it's up 2%. I am leaving my floor at my 8%. Rexford Realty, this is a brand new purchase for me. I bought it because, well, I bought it because I like the chart, but it was on the IBD 50 at number 16, so that's where I got the idea and checked out this chart. I've held it for 1 day and it's down 0.1%, and I am leaving my floor at my 8%. EDU, I've held this stock for just over 2 weeks and it's up about 7%. I had purchased this before on September 27th and I bought and sold in the same day. And now my repurchase I made in October, on October 11th. I left my floor at 8%, and this is another stock that had a big swing on earnings. Let's take a look at its 3-month chart. You can see that really tall or long red bar. That's the day after earnings, and the price swung over 12%, really similar to the reaction in Teradyne. It was a $13.54 price swing, and it did close near the bottom, and then it rebounded the next 3 days. If I had moved my floor up to that 50-day simple moving average, which is the red diagonal line, I would have triggered a sell. So that's why I'm being a little cautious with all of my stocks and not moving that floor up right away, just giving the stock some room. Cosan, stock symbol CZZ. I made a 3rd purchase in this stock. I was so happy with it. My buy 3 is down 0.3%. My buy 2 I've held about 2 weeks and it's up just over 2%. And my buy 1 I've held for 2.5 weeks and it's up 9%. I did raise my floor up to that 50-day simple moving average, and earnings are a few weeks away on November 14th. So my portfolio did recover somewhat from last week when I had that terrible loss. My portfolio is up 29% versus the S&P 500 up 13.8% in the 1 year and 28 weeks that I've been doing this experiment. I started off this experiment a year and a half ago, hoping to double my money in 1 year. That didn't happen, and it doesn't appear that it will happen this year either. The target seems so far off that I gave myself a new target of making $40,000 to $50,000. That's what that gray bar area is. Hopefully by the end of this year, I can be up at that over $40,000 gain. I also like to look at my dollar value gain from last week to this week. So there's no stocks that I sold this week, so change from last week to this week on sold stocks is 0. My new purchases, I have a $294 loss in those. I would like to see my new purchases go up right away, but that's not happening. And then my existing holding stocks that I held last week and still hold this week, I have a gain of $1,815. Here's my current dollar gain for each stock that I have. I sort this with the losers on the top, thinking if I take care of my losers, my winners will take care of themselves. So 2 of my stocks have losses, PFSI and REXR. The rest of them are all profitable at this point. On the right-hand side is the weekly percentage change, again, sorted with the losers on the top. The two losers are the same losers as my dollar value gain, PFSI and REXR. My big winner of the week was Teradyne, up 8%. The weekly change for the S&P 500 is 1.22%, and my weekly change is 1.19%, which I think is great because I'm almost performing as well as the S&P 500 this week, but I'm not 100% invested, so I'm happy with my gain this week. I wanted to take a look at my buy one batting average. I have 8 stocks, 6 of them are winners, 2 of them are losers, so I have a winning percentage or batting average of 75%. Last week I had less stocks and I was at an 80% batting average, so hopefully I can keep in that range. Anything below 60 I have highlighted there in red. That's when I'm not doing very well. And then my average gain is going up also. Last week I was at an average gain of $260, and this week I'm at an average gain of $401. The bottom section shows my sold stocks, so I don't have 1025 on there because I have 0 stocks that I had to sell this week. Last week I had 4 stocks I sold, 4 losers for a total loss of $3,581, and I had 2 other weeks in the past 2 months where I had total losses over $2,000. Here's the industry breakdown. Cosan up on the left-hand side in the brown. I have 3 purchases in that. The rest of the stocks I all have 1 purchase, and I put it in on the 3 new stocks. So I added a retail, a real estate, and a finance stock. Cash balance at the end of week 28, year 2 is $37,119. My possible actions are to sit tight, buy new stock, or do a B2 and B3 in a stock if I find one that I think is performing exceptionally well. Here's my watch list for 1027. The ones in purple all have earnings coming up. So a lot of these stocks have earnings, and I'm going to wait and see what happens with those. And the ones in yellow are ones that I think are more appropriate for my husband's 401k account. But they're still on my watch list because I want to keep an eye on them and see if I want to buy them for him. The stock circled in green is a stock that I'm most likely to buy in the upcoming week, Apps. I've bought that a couple times and gotten kicked out, but it's forming a nice new base and I think I'm going to give it a try. Thanks for watching. Keep an eye out for my next episode, or better yet, subscribe to my channel. Don't forget to hit the bell if you want an alert when I post a new episode.